I recently started connecting with my younger brother again. We've been kind of weirdly estranged because of his psychotic husband. I didn't say that. I did not. Don't even say that I said that. That is wrong. I was possessed by an evil spirit named Ram through just then. But anyway, he is working as a tour guide or what have you, I guess running the box office, doing a little bit of everything at this Titanic exhibit. I had no idea that there was a Titanic exhibit. I mean, I'm sure I knew somewhere in my mind there was one somewhere. You know, James Cameron, it's probably all over his fucking house. What is the deal with him and the Titanic? I just don't understand the fascination. Like, it was a ship that sank how many, like, over 100 years ago, and we're still fascinated about what exactly happened. It hit an iceberg. It hit a fucking iceberg. That's what happened. That's it. And a bunch of people drowned, screaming like wet rats. And some people lived, and it was a horrible tragedy. I don't know why we're fascinated. I just don't understand it. But him especially, everything he ever does. And he gets on my nerves for a multitude of reasons also, because he's also like one of these like rich assholes who has to put himself in a bubble capsule that goes down there. And then you see him on CNN because there's other rich people trying to go in a little bubble capsule down there, and they died or like it imploded, or some kind of giant piranha we haven't discovered yet ate them. What are you going to do once you're there? If you're James Cameron, you're going to get out like an asshole and go scuba diving around the whole fucking... Who cares? Who gives a shit? I just don't get it. But I'm going off tangent a little bit. So I know there are people who are obsessed with Titanic. I will never understand it myself, but fine. So my brother's like, listen, I'm doing this Titanic thing. Why don't you come over? You know, I spot you free. Bring Stevie with you. I brought crackhead Stevie with me, who I love to death and loves anything free. I'm going to tell you some good stories right now. All right. So I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't mind paying and shit like that. And Steve's like, sit up, we're going. It's fine. It's free. It's free. I'm like, calm down. It's like two things. There's like a Downton Abbey exhibit, which another thing you can't interest me in, because I have a weird thing about period pieces with movies. And I don't mean, you know, those ones where the Japanese girls have their period and offer it up to another Japanese guy, you know, the tampon, and go, licky, licky, so good, the blood. I mean, that's a different thing. I understand that it's a fetish of mine. But, his history just takes me out of anything. I mean, far away history. Once we're in like the Little House on the Prairie days, once a movie is set in there, it could be the best horror movie, the best action movie, or whatever. I don't care. There's just something about me that just tunes it right out. If there's a general store and there's people on horses riding around, I don't care. I can't make myself care about the movie. I just not interested in history, I guess. I don't know. More modern history, yeah. If I'm going to watch something about the 50s, 40s, 60s, you know, civil rights or something like that, okay, fine. We're talking about how it used to be when they were coal mining. I don't give a fuck. I'm not there, wasn't there, never going to be there, doesn't matter to me. So my brother's like, hey, why don't you come visit? I'm like, okay, cool. Well, apparently there's like 6 or 7 different official Titanic exhibits. I don't know. They're spread out all over the country, because we go in there and there is a huge line. First off, it was like a Wednesday, and I'm like, why is there such a big line? I mean, it was a big line for a Wednesday. It wasn't, I shouldn't say massive, but for a Wednesday, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I see my brother waving me over, and I'm like, okay, cool. So then that's the fun part where you get to walk past other people waiting. It's like, I'm a VIP, I'm important, VIP, very important. Yeah. Look, you, guess who's cutting? Guy, bye. So Stevie's with me. He's like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, nothing. I said, what is this about exactly? I didn't even know what was going to happen. He's like, well, just, you know, go through the tour. I'll catch up with you halfway through the tour, because I'm almost on my break. I'm like, okay, no, not a problem. So the first thing we get is we're on a ship's mast thing, and there's this black girl saying, stop! And I'm like, what? Did Stevie steal like a roll of toilet paper? What happened? She said, stop! No, turn around! And I realize we're facing this huge ass camera, and we're supposed to pose for a picture, like a souvenir picture. I hate pictures. I hate pictures with fucking... I had to go to the dermatologist last year. That fucking light that they use on you is pure and simply evil. It's Satan's light. Because my face, I don't think looks that terrible. It's not the best. It's what I work with. But when they put that fucking light on your face and show you on a computer screen of everything that is wrong with you, you look like the worst, most... I don't care how hot you are. You could be fucking Chris Hemsworth or whatever like that. I guarantee they put his ass under one of those things right after he wakes up. He's going to look splotchy. You're going to find all kind of weird shit. It's horrifying. You feel so ugly. So, of course, that's the kind of light they got. Like, smile for the picture. Smile. You're on the Titanic. Aren't you happy? Woo! Smile. So I'm sitting there and I thought I smiled. I was kind of taken off. So then there's a big flash. I'm kind of blinking. So then we're led through it, right? And it was interesting. I'll give it that. Like at first you get to see a history of the Titanic on this like movie screen, and then you can see a bunch of like souvenirs from the actual Titanic mixed with souvenirs from the movie Titanic. And so we're walking around, and it was good. I mean, there was like you get to walk through like some of like the sets. I don't know if they were the actual sets, but like the sets that were built for the Titanic movie, so you get an idea, and also the Titanic, like what it was like in, you know, first class, second class, third class. Listen, if anybody agreed to go on third class in the Titanic, let me tell you what that was like. That was like 6 bunk beds shoved together in a janitor's closet. If I don't care how poor I would have been, if I would have gotten on that boat, I would have survived. You know how I know? Because I would have probably not had enough money to be on second or first class. First class was great. First class, you had your own fireplace. It looked like you had your own living room set. You got catered everything you wanted. When I saw the first class, it looked like a huge ass living room. I'm like, this is first class. Jesus Christ. And you know, there was more than one, so no wonder the boat was so fucking big. When I saw third class, I was like, oh, they've got me fucked up all the way. I would have said that back then. They would have been like, what doth thou mean fucked up? I know they didn't speak that way, but whatever. I was just like, I would have saw the 6 bunk beds and said, you know what? I'll catch it when I have more money. I'm not spending, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it was, on this, in this nightmare with strangers probably who I don't even know. But no, there's no even private bathroom. Fuck that. No, I'm not doing that. So we get all through there, and at part it looks like you're walking over the ocean. They like made it really neat with like a plexiglass thing, and like it's like you're under the ocean, and bits and particles and remnants left of what was of the Titanic, and that's all well and good. But then I gotta talk about the people there. I am a horror geek. I get being obsessed with things, but even I wouldn't take it that far. Some of them were dressed up, you guys. Some of them were, there was a girl dressed up like she was a fair maiden from 1912 who was boarding the Titanic and shit. Like, she had a little umbrella. And I'm like, bitch, it's not real. We are not setting sail anywhere, and you better thank your lucky stars it ain't real, because you'd be dead just like the rest of us would be dead. Well, most of us, I don't know. You got to read the, and there were other people dressing up too. And this one woman, I heard her go like this. She's like, this Titanic exhibit is fine, but it's nowhere near the one in near Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm just going to say the Chattanooga one is the best. When you are that posh over Titanic exhibits, what it tells me is you have 12 cats and you yarn, and you like to use yarn a lot. That's all it tells me. That's all it tells you. Knit, you go to bingo, cry, and come home and feed your 12 stinky cats. That's what you do. Don't fucking pull in that posh shit. I mean, it's okay. So then we get out of there, and then there's a final like area where it shows the Titanic sinking kind of in real time, and like 3 elderly people just decide to walk in front of it while everybody's sitting there trying to like watch the thing. It was pretty amazing, but they're like, whoa, whoa. I think they were on the Titanic or thought they were. I don't know. Maybe they really believed that was it. And so, but my favorite part of this whole experience, we get out of the whole thing, and I was like, okay, it's all right. I don't understand and by the way, when you get out of the Titanic exhibit, the gift shop that hit you in the face, mother holy God, Jesus wept on a cross with taffy on it. Oh my God, it's huge. The merch they have for your ass. That's why they like the Titanic so much. And the Titanic shit was a lot. I mean, like a mug was like $25. I'm like, fuck that shit. Now remember, we'd pose for a picture. So then Stevie goes, we got a number, and we were supposed to pick our picture up at the end. And I was like, I don't know if we have to pay for it or not. And TV's like, girl, give it to me. I'll work it. Okay, I know what he's going to do. So he goes up there. He comes back. And he's like, I can't believe that girl said that. I'm like, said what? And he didn't have the picture. I'm like, oh, so they said no or something like that. What was it? He's like, it's $25. So if it's like 2 pictures, you know, it's like $50 for a fucking picture. So I said, can I see it real fast? And I guess the girl's like, yeah, okay, fine. And he took out his cell phone real fast and took a picture of the picture. And she goes, oh, no, he didn't. And he just like ran away. And so he's like, here, we have the picture. Only your ass would think to do that. Can I see it real fast? I mean, I'm not sure if I want it. Click. Now I got it, bitch. But it was funny. But let me tell you, when he and I both looked at the picture from his phone's point of view, I don't know if it's because the extra flash, I said, get rid of that picture. That's the ugliest. I look like Uncle Fester. he looked like a demented Bozo the Clown. We looked horrible. It was one of those pictures where like everybody would even agree. Like I could show it to anybody. As nice as you could be to me, you would still be like, yeah, you look fucking gross. Get rid of that thing. But my brother, so we left, and my brother was still doing a tour, so I didn't want to bother him. I'm like, hey, it was a great time. Thanks a lot. And we're going to hook up again and have some lunch or something like that. He's like, you forgot your picture. I'm like, no, I didn't forget shit. I'm not paying $25 for the picture. He's like, no, I have it. I got it for you. Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, so it's free. So we went back and got it. And actually, without the cell phone thing that he took, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I still looked like a killer. He still looked like he was like partially drunk. I don't know how to explain. He was smiling. He's got his big, curly hair, and his cheeks are red, and he just looks like he's kind of inebriated. Shit like that. It was a miserable picture. But aside from that, it looked a lot better on the thing. So we took it. And so, yeah, overall, it was a good experience. I mean, if you're into the Titanic type of shit, I would definitely recommend it. I would definitely recommend going on a weekday because it won't be as bad. And I would definitely recommend having a relative in there who can get you for free.